Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that.
You all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you?
You know, I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Like rat poison. All right, so
It's Division One football! It ain't murals!
That is right. It's the Hoppy Huddle podcast. We're talking college football. It's week 3. We've got our week 3 reactions for you. Man, did a lot of stuff happen this weekend. I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh, what another crazy Saturday. Just a great day of college football. And can you believe we're now a fourth of the way through the season?
Shh, shut up.
Oh, it goes by way too fast. I just sat there and savored every moment on Saturday. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We got a lot of ugly to talk about too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, we got a lot of good too. We got a lot of good too.
So,
you know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess we'll get to the coach firings as part of the. Let's get to. We'll get to them. Okay, let's get to them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Well, I don't even. Where do you want to start? There were so many great storylines on from the weekend.
There was so much that happened over the weekend. I don't even know where to start. We had big teams go down. We had big teams win. Lots of storylines from the offseason are proven and disproven. That we are demonstrated yet again that the AP poll should be nuked from outer space and never talked about again.
Yeah,
it's so far gone at this point that I don't even want to keep talking about it. I just want it to be gone.
It's terrible.
Because
it's terrible.
It's completely ridiculous. These people do not watch any of the games.
We can. Let's just start with LSU at 3. I mean, what have they done to deserve the ranking 3? And they got Miami at 4 and Georgia. Miami at 4 and Georgia at 5. Miami and Georgia should clearly be ahead of them. They've proven a lot more on the field.
We'll get to LSU and Florida, but
yeah, let's get to that.
I think we got to talk about first. Probably what is the big upset of the weekend, I would say. Even though I think Notre Dame was also favored slightly. I think we got to talk Georgia Tech. Brent Key, Buster Faulkner, Haynes King, at home in Atlanta, in Bobby Dodd Stadium, whiteout. All the vibes were coming together, and it took a fire drill field goal for them to beat Clemson. And if you didn't watch this game and you're thinking, man, that was crazy upset, last second field goal. I bet this game was close throughout. Clemson was lucky to be in it that close in the end of the game. Georgia Tech outplayed them the entire game. Georgia Tech manhandled Clemson at the line of scrimmage. Clemson was only in it from basically
total yards. Clemson had more yards. They had more rushing yards. They had more.
Yes.
It was equal in passing yards. It was
take away Clemson's 3 explosive plays, though, and it tells a completely different story.
I understand, but that's like saying take away, you could do that with any offense. The only reason, it would have been a lot better.
They got a lucky third down conversion that led to a touchdown. They had a 75-yard screen pass from 75-yard pass from Bryant Wesco.
But that's part of football.
It is part of football. But I'm saying
they don't have the turnovers. It's a different game too. They had 2 turnovers.
You're right. But
you're taking away again. It was a well-played game.
This was not a lucky win by Georgia Tech.
No. I'm not saying it was.
That's all I'm saying is that Georgia Tech was the better team. They played as the better team, and they won in that game. This was not they just got the right game script, and they got 2 turnovers, and they trick play. No, Georgia Tech lined up, and they beat them in a game of football. And, man, it says a lot about the state of those 2 programs. I think the place you can't start without talking about Haynes King. That man is an absolute unit. And by the way, I've been wrong about a lot of stuff so far this year. I was not wrong about Georgia Tech. All right. I called this going into the year. I knew they were going to be good. Haynes King is an absolute unit. Everyone should have been on this bandwagon as soon as they heard out that this dude was sleeping in the stadium through training camp. That should have been the first indication, like that there is an absolute dog out to play. And they ran the Hensey only had one touchdown, but he carried the ball. He carried 25 carries, right? I believe
he had 25 carries for 100 yards.
that's insane as a quarterback, right? He put the team on his back. He just the way he just has moxie and poise, and the way he carries himself through that game. There was never a shred of doubt from the way that he commanded that offense and how he looked on the field. They never looked flustered. He's not the best, downfield thrower, but he knows it, and he doesn't try and do too much, right? He knows if the first two reads aren't there, scramble around a little bit, maybe take off and run, get 4 yards. And it just kind of felt like Georgia Tech got, at a minimum, on when all the defense was perfect, Georgia Tech got 3 yards. And you can't have that happen when they're getting these explosive runs. They got good blocking in the line of scrimmage. They confused them with all the motion. And
yeah,
I thought Buster Faulkner called a really great game.
Yeah, I thought especially the last drive where it's a tie game. You got 3 minutes to go. I thought Buster Faulkner did a great job calling that last series. He had Clemson off balance. And the rumors are, is Brent Key going to get a better job? If that happens, will Buster Faulkner go with him?
Is that really rumors, or is that just hot seat speculation?
Well, no, I think Brent Key is going to be the top of. I mean, if there are big jobs opening, I'm not talking like Virginia Tech or UCLA. I'm talking like if there's any big jobs open, Brent's going to be at the top of that list.
Right, but I don't think there's actually anybody come out and said that.
No. The only rumor I've seen comes from a pretty reputable. The one rumor, and you can go find the guy on Twitter, he's a Florida beat writer, and he says that Brent Key is the top of Scott Strickland's list. That is the number one name when Billy Napier's fired, and we're going to get to that because that's going to happen. We're
assuming Florida's keeping Scott Strickland.
Well, yeah, but Scott Strickland just signed an extension, and they have no permanent president.
Right.
Scott Strickland's going to be there. But that reporter is saying that Brent Key is at the top of that list. Now, every AD has got that list of who they want to hire.
Okay.
And then the theory is, well, Buster Faulkner would stay at Georgia Tech probably because they'd want to keep him. I think Buster Faulkner did a great job in this game. Back to this game, did a great job play calling. He's going to be a head coach someday. This is interesting to me. I think Georgia Tech, talent-wise, was better last year, but they're going to end up with a better record this year.
Yeah, they might have been more talented last year, but they might be a better team this year.
Maybe. Now, let me ask you this, Jake. Have you looked at their schedule?
I have looked at their schedule.
They are going to be heavily not just favored. They're going to be heavily favored in pretty much every game. They don't play Florida State. They don't play Miami.
Nope.
They don't play SMU.
They don't play Notre Dame.
And I don't think they play Notre Dame. And I don't think they play Louisville. They don't play Louisville either.
Yeah.
So none of the so-called big dogs in that conference they're going to face. So there's a real shot here. They're going to be undefeated, and then they're going to go play Georgia, which is a non-conference game. That's not the end of the world. But let's just say let's say they lose to Georgia. Let's just say that. Let's just, again, we'll get to Georgia later.
Yeah.
If you're 11-1 and you go to the ACC championship, let's just put in the blank.
They get in.
No. That's the question I'm interested in, because where is and let's say they lose to Miami. Let's hypothetically
and not get blown out by 40, right?
And let's say they not get blown out. The ACC is bad this year, and here's the problem: they've got a problem on their hands because the ACC. If you look at some of the rankings, there's the SEC and the Big 12. The SEC and the Big 10. There's the Big 12, and then the ACC is down here. I'm concerned.
In the conference power rankings, yeah.
I'm concerned that as good as this is for Georgia Tech, they better win the conference, or they better beat Georgia, or they could be staring at an 11-1 regular season, lose the ACC championship game, and not make it.
They're not going to get laughed out 11-1.
I'm telling you,
I don't think
their power ranking.
There are going to be too many 3-loss teams in the SEC, and 4-loss
but those teams are going to have ranked wins.
The committee has already showed they will give deference to the ranked wins in the schedule if there's a 1-loss difference. If there's a 2-loss difference, It's not happening.
You and I are going to have this debate in November, but I'm telling you right now, I can see this coming down the horizon.
And I'm telling you, the ACC could get 3 teams in.
ACC's not.
And I'm going to tell you how, right?
Yeah, I know. You're saying
Miami, Florida State, Georgia Tech. All
they're
3 of those.
They're going to eliminate. One of those teams is going to get eliminated by each other because Florida State plays Miami. Florida State plays Miami.
Right. And so let's say one of them loses, gets 1 loss, doesn't make the ACC title game.
You're assuming
1 loss and beat Alabama?
I don't know. Yeah.
Look, there's a scenario where the ACC gets 3 teams in.
I wouldn't want to be with any shouting distance of Greg Sankey's office in the SEC if that happens.
And it's Florida State, Alabama again, except this time Florida State has the win over Alabama.
Oh, that would be so much fun. I
think they might crucify.
Well,
Kirk Herbstreit.
Let's get back to this game. It was what an outstanding performance by Georgia Tech. You've been right on Haynes King. I mean, and I think what a dog, man. He's a dog.
He is a dog.
And they are going to, short of him getting injured. And I think Philo, the backup, is really talented. So I'm not sure there's going to be much of a drop off until the end of the season.
If I were Georgia Tech, I might just load management Haynes King, play him for 1 quarter against some of these teams and just get Aaron Philo the reps for next year. Right. And I think, with that offense, you can, if Philo's been pretty good, I don't think they don't need to run him. If you want to run the quarterback, which their offense kind of has to, you may want to give Haynes King a break and save him for that Georgia game, which at this point, Georgia looked good at Tennessee and we'll get to them, but I don't think you can say for sure, especially after how last year went, that Georgia's just going to win that game.
No. They took them to 8 overtimes last year, so that's not a given. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the other side, Clemson.
You
were right on Georgia Tech. What can you also say? What you?
I was also wrong on Clemson. All right, let's be 2 sides of the coin here.
Yeah. But in fairness, you and everybody else in the media, we are all on the Cade Klubnik Clemson bandwagon. Everybody missed on this year. I don't know what.
We all watched him against Texas. Where did that quarterback go? It's like he completely fell off a cliff. Against Texas, he looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
When I heard, I think Bud Elliott in Cover 3, I thought said this over the weekend. Did they just read their press clippings and just not put in the work? I don't know. You saw the legitimate people who do mock drafts had 4 Clemson people in their first round. I mean, these are people that make their living off mock drafts in the NFL. I mean, that's unheard of, but they're not playing like it. Something isn't right.
I don't know what's going on.
I think Dabo's frustrated. I think Dabo knows it.
And I don't even think it's like a scheme problem. For a long time, you had scheme issues on offense and defense, but you've got Garrett Riley and Tom Allen. There should not be a coaching scheme issue. It's an attitude issue in the program. And I don't know whether that's an attitude that needs to be imposed from the top, from Dabo, or it's a bottom up problem where the players have to get right themselves.
I think
I'm not sure which one it is. It also could be a Dabo thing. I
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, but they also, if you noticed, they just didn't always hustle off the field. They just it looked off. It looked like they were limping through a scrimmage at sometimes. They weren't. They were doing little chip blocks instead of squaring up. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it, but something is rotten in Clemson, South Carolina, and they got to figure it out, man, because
they still got some games ahead of them. They've got, Louisville. They have Florida State right on their calendar.
They play Florida State. Yeah, that's going to be their chance probably. Although they could run the table and not make the ACC title game with that loss to Georgia Tech.
They could. We don't know how this is going to.
We don't know how this is going to break out. But if you're Clemson, it's no longer in your hands, and you've just got to hope that it breaks the right way and you can get right. But the way they look today, I don't see it happening. I think we're headed for 9-3, 8-4 kind of season.
Yeah, and what
if that?
I'll give Bud Elliott again credit. Are they the new Texas A&M of the ACC? Good, but not great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. It was rough. So, yeah, I think they're done. Their playoff hopes are probably done. I think it's the best way to.
There's some chance where if they like beat Florida State and Florida State wins the ACC and they beat South Carolina, like maybe, but like
That South Carolina win doesn't look like it's gonna be much at this point.
right, yeah, it's my point exactly. And LSU keeps looking worse by the week, so
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
not
don't
looking
know,
any
man.
better,
They may have to reset for next year and see what's going
yeah.
on.
Yeah. So,
But all right, speaking of great teams, let's talk about the absolute cinema of a game that happened on Rocky Top. What a game, man. That if you don't like college football after watching the Georgia Tennessee game, I think you're just a bad person. Because that was the most one of the most exciting games I've seen in a long time. Tennessee comes, this is not one of the games that took a while to build up and hook you in. Tennessee right out the bat jumps out to, is it 21-7 lead or 21
yeah, it was 20. It was 20. It was 14-7 at 5 minutes into the
Right,
game.
yeah,
And then it was
yeah.
21-7, and we weren't even. We still had 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Tennessee looked like they were about to obliterate this thing. And I was thinking in my head, like, oh, man, I'm completely wrong here. Kirby, whatever they did, they changed. Joey Aguilar's transcendent. And then Georgia just, like, locks in. Yeah, they Kirby, and then slowly they're coming back. And slowly, their defense, they start, tackling. They start anticipating passes. And then Tennessee's offense kind of disappears in the third quarter. And then what do you know? Georgia takes the lead. And then right when you think, oh, this game's over, Tennessee, boom, they're back in the fourth quarter. Their offense reappeared. What happened? I don't know. They started breaking out. The run game started breaking through late in the game because they kept staying at it, stayed persistent. And then, it gives them a chance to line up a game-winning field goal and then timeout. And then false start. And then they miss it. And it's overtime. And then, and the rest of the game happened. And overtime happened. And Georgia won. And, man, I don't even know what to say about this game. I kind of came out of this game feeling better about both teams. Is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. I mean, if you're Georgia, you got a couple things. One, you got to admire they didn't quit. They could have got – that thing came out of the box so quickly at 21-7. They could have quit easily. And they didn't. They fought back. If you're Georgia, you've got to be encouraged. The fact that Gunnar Stockton played well. He looked like he's got a little dog in him. It looked like he was able to make some throws. The running game,
throws were on time and on target. Mostly.
Yeah, and the running game looked solid. I still question a little bit if they really trust Gunnar Stockton 100% with the most of the throws they're asking him to do are the short stuff. Yeah. They're not really. The only time they trusted him to go downfield is when they just had to be desperate and throw it downfield. They're not really asking him to throw it downfield regularly.
But they can depend on him in the QB run game. He's not a bad runner.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you got to feel like in the third game of the season, okay, we've got something to work with. Now, if I'm Georgia, I'm a little concerned about the defense. I think before the season, if we said where's the weakness, we just said, well, it's going to be in the offensive line, and we don't know about Gunnar Stockton. But we thought the defense did not look good. I mean,
I think they looked a lot better after the first quarter. I think they just they were sleeping.
They up 500 yards, and Tennessee still was able to move the ball at will when they needed to. I mean, this is supposed to be the strength of this Georgia team, the defense. And Tennessee and Aguilar's throwing off his back foot. He's throwing moon balls, and they can't get to it.
Yeah, I mean, they did miss. Just they completely missed some tackles at some obvious spots.
Yeah. So yeah. I think you do feel good. I think if you're Georgia, here's the other thing I'll say about Georgia. They're probably them and Oklahoma. I think are the. Yeah, I don't want to get a text saying them, but Georgia. If I feel like Georgia, I'm like, you know what? I still feel like I'm the leader in the clubhouse at the moment. Maybe it's a little shaky, but I'm the leader in the clubhouse in the SEC. If I'm Tennessee, I guess you feel better. I mean, I think Aguilar,
I mean, you're obviously heartbroken that the game was right there.
Yes, you had it. And but so let's talk about Aguilar. I don't think one, he throws off his back foot. That drives me nuts. He and some of the balls he throws, they shouldn't have been caught. They were okay. I mean, the Georgia defenders should be shot for not having this.
To be fair, he threw it down the field more in that game than I've ever seen Nico do last year.
Well, no, Nico overthrows them. But
sorry, my bad. Completed passes down the field.
Yes, exactly. But
you can underthrow it and then complete it a little bit.
But does he give you a little bit? But probably he gives you better opportunities than Nico did. So in that respect, you may be better off. Now, what you're lacking,
he's a better decision maker than Nico.
I think he is. I think you're right. Now, they don't have the defense they had last year, and they clearly don't have the running game. And I think I said on this show,
I mean, their corners were both. Didn't they have both starting corners were out?
I think so.
Yeah. So their defense has some room for improvement.
Yeah, they didn't run the ball great. I mean, they attempted to run the ball a lot, but it wasn't a great running effort. I don't think.
No. But they did break out a little bit towards the end of the game in the run game.
So, I mean, I think if you're Tennessee, you're fine. I just don't know that if I've looked at this game, I'm Georgia. I'm happy to get a win. I think you're fine going forward. If I'm Tennessee, I still don't think you're a playoff caliber team. You may be borderline, but and your schedule's favorable. But so
if I'm a Tennessee fan, I'm obviously really upset, and there's a lot to harp on negatively. I'm just looking like as neither a Tennessee nor a Georgia fan. Like, I think if looking at Tennessee's team compared to how the rest of the SEC is doing,
well, that's a whole nother. Yeah,
I'm like, we could finish third in the SEC and get a playoff bid.
Why
not? Like,
SEC's a dumpster fire this year.
What is like? Is Florida gonna be a problem? Is Texas gonna be a problem? Is Alabama gonna like? That schedule's looking a lot easier. Like, I'm Tennessee. I'm like, we put up 40 on Georgia. Like,
yeah. That's a good point, Jake. Because
you're right. I don't think they're gonna win the playoff or win a bunch of games in the playoff. But I'm like, there's a scenario where we end up in the SEC championship game. There's a scenario where we go to the playoff like pretty easily.
Listen, I came to a conclusion this weekend. The SEC is just the Big 12 with better marketing and better TV deal. It's the old Big 12 because they're all going to beat each other up and they're going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, well, the difference is instead of having awesome offenses, they just have atrocious offenses.
They do, and I don't know, but the SEC, something's weird has happened this year because none of these teams look that great, except maybe
Oklahoma. Lack of quarterbacks.
Oklahoma's the only one that I think looked good. I mean, they're the only team that I feel like has actually looked, capable of both sides of the ball.
Oklahoma has been the most team that looked the most complete to me.
And Georgia's been right there with them too. In fairness, I think Georgia. Yeah. But so Tennessee, you're right. Who knows? And they've got a favorable schedule. So
yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
What else have we got? I think. Do you want to talk backyard brawl?
Yes, I was able to catch a little bit of the end of this game.
This was such a great game. Yeah. So I lost track of who was starting for West Virginia. Because I think they played like 3 or 4 quarterbacks in that game. And I don't know what was going on. Let's see. Where were they had 3 quarterbacks that had completions in that game. So I don't know what Rich Rod was cooking in the stew pots in the moonshine pots of West Virginia, man, but they somehow pulled that game out. There were multiple fights, of course, because it's the backyard brawl. It was an ugly game. There was how many turnovers combined were there?
There were only 3. There were 3 turnovers.
Oh, there were only 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Oh yeah, Pitt had 14 penalties for 118 yards.
Yeah,
West Virginia had 6 penalties for 60 yards. West Virginia. They had 434 yards of total offense. This went to overtime as well. West Virginia scored in overtime. They had like pretty much the most emotional country road singing I've heard in a long time. It felt great to see Rich Rod get the win over Pitt. revenge for 2007. They finally avenged it, man.
I guess
But
that's what you want to call it at this point. So.
sure, it's sorry state of both those programs, but yeah, it's I don't know. I don't think this game actually will have much effect on either the rest of these two teams' seasons. I still think West Virginia is probably going to finish at the bottom of Big 12. I still think Pitt is not good, but will finish in the middle of the ACC because the ACC is terrible. That's kind of where I'm at. I enjoyed watching it. I did not come out of this game very impressed with either of these teams. I did not think.
No,
this
it was
team
just
very
nice.
good. I didn't.
As a college football fan, it was just nice to see West Virginia win that. I think I'm excited about Rich Rod being there and what he can do. It was just fun to watch. Fun to watch a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yep. What else do we have? We also had. I mean, Alabama obliterated Wisconsin as we expected. Ty Simpson looked really good. Ty Simpson looked like a contender for best quarterback in the SEC. Since the Florida State game, he has not looked sloppy. He has.
Well, are you forgetting a few? You're forgetting Mateer, Pavia.
Yeah, I said contender. I didn't say the best. I said contender.
Okay. All right. Just want to be clear.
And that's not a guarantee. You could be like, oh, it's lesser competition. Well, there's some other quarterbacks out there that have played in the SEC that have played lesser competition, and they've struggled to look good. We'll get to him in a second. But
which one?
Yeah, right. Alabama, are they back to regular form? Unclear. They're still extremely talented. That hasn't changed. Maybe they needed the Florida State game to snap them into form. I still need to see them, get up for the big game and beat somebody good before I'm willing to say that they're an elite team. But they're certainly beating the smaller teams like an elite team is supposed to.
Yeah.
And maybe just week one in Doak Campbell or Doak Campbell, right?
Yeah.
Is rough environment. I thought Ryan Williams played well. Good. So
yeah. Well, Wisconsin's picked to be near the bottom of the Big Ten.
They're also not very good. Yeah, so
they're not very good. But let's stay in the SEC. Let's talk. We might as well talk about it. Let's talk about LSU, Florida.
Oh man, this was horrible. I hated watching this game. I moved this to the second screen and muted it, man. I cannot stand this game.
So, I mean, here, this is the crazy part. Florida outgained them, had more yards.
Neither one of those teams deserved to win that game.
50 more yards. I mean, 23 first downs Florida, 10 first downs for LSU. If you're a Florida Gator fan, you have to just be pulling your hair out to see what happens, because DJ Lagway threw not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 interceptions. Now, 2 of them were kind of at the end where he was forcing things, trying to make plays. But, it's the turnovers, it's the penalties, it's the play calling, it's the same old Gators again. And so from a Florida Gator perspective, it's got to be frustrating. I mean, DJ looks like he's regressed. It looks like all that offseason of not working out has just sent him backwards. He's trying to make plays where they don't exist. I mean, I've read a lot of theories about this and that he's trying to make reads. He's trying to force things because things aren't there.
I heard there may be some locker room issues.
Well, the other thing is that, and let's talk about it, the Billy Napier. The other thing I've read is the playbook, the offensive plays are too simple, and so there's no openings. So he's trying to throw into coverage. Nobody's open. Lane Kiffin is great. Sark is great at getting guys open. Nobody's open. The receivers are not open.
No, they are not
in this place, in this system. And that gets back to Billy, gets back to the offensive play calling. This is a disaster. So we all knew this. We thought they were going to lose. They lost, 20-10. A 10-point loss on the surface doesn't seem so bad.
Right.
But when you take away what you look at the stats, you're going, my goodness, they were in this game. They could hear in this game even on the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm not so much surprised about how Florida did in this game because I expected them to be like this. I expected them to get some yards, score some points, and then screw it up because it's Billy Napier and the Florida Gators, right? The big
But
surprise is how awful LSU was. Oh my gosh.
yes, yes, thank you. I'm glad.
What
So
happened?
we're done talking about Florida. Let's talk about LSU.
They looked horrible. Like not bad, not mediocre, like horrible. They did not look like a team that should be ranked in the top 25, let alone top 5.
Kirk Herbstreit has them number 1 in his poll. Number 1.
This is why I don't listen to polls because the polls are stupid.
What are we talking about here? That was not a good football team we watched. They beat a bad football team, and they barely beat them. They didn't really beat them. Florida beat themselves.
Yeah,
I mean, now,
LSU just like showed up, and
They
then
showed up
and then Florida just punched themselves in the face, and then LSU stood there and they're like, "I won." And it's like you didn't do anything.
Now,
You
now
did
don't get
nothing
me wrong.
the whole game.
The one thing I will give LSU's defense some credit. LSU was able to get a lot of pressure defensively. I mean, I was sitting there watching, and I think I was
Right,
even
yeah.
texting you at some point going, okay, it's third down. We know they're bringing the pressure, Billy. Put somebody back. I mean, Florida doesn't do things to help themselves.
They just blitz 7 on third down and they can't do anything.
And Florida doesn't bring any protection. They don't go max protect. They don't do anything to help them out. So some of it is, so I think LSU defensively is definitely better than they were in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But Florida, but where is this LSU offense? Where are they? I don't know if it's an offense.
Man.
Nuss is not throwing the ball real well. He's not. They're not being aggressive. They're not throwing it down the field. The running game is just below average again. And we thought, oh, the Clemson game, everybody lauded them. Hey, that's a tough win in Clemson. No, maybe what happened is they beat a bad Clemson team, and now they beat a bad Florida team.
We thought like, oh, Clemson's D line and linebackers, they're all really good. It's in road environment. You're expected to struggle, and then it's like, and you let Florida do that to you at home, like.
No, this isn't good right now. This isn't the third best team in the country. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't expect
it. This is like the 18th best team in the country, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're 3-0. We should give them. I mean, they're better. They at least should be ranked, as opposed to teams that have not won games shouldn't be ranked.
Well, yeah, there's that.
But we're going to see them now. Look at their schedule. LSU. They're going to play Ole Miss. They're going to play Vanderbilt. They're going to play Texas A&M. They're going to play Bama. They're going to play Oklahoma. So we're going to find out. There's 5 games.
But there's also, there's some teams in there that have also had struggles of their own. So it's going to,
oh yeah.
Instead of like whose strengths are going to beat the other person's strengths, it's like who's going to suck less on game day. Like,
yeah, but this is not, people want to talk about the LSU's the best team in the SEC right now. I don't want to hear that.
The best team in the SEC is Oklahoma.
So far, I think I can make an argument for Georgia too.
Oklahoma, or Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, I can make an argument for those two. Those two seem to have played the best, most consistent. But yeah, LSU, I'm concerned about LSU after watching that. That Florida team handed them multiple opportunities. That game should have been.
You get 5 picks, you should score more than 20 points.
It should have been 38-10 if LSU's playing at full capability.
Yeah.
So,
yep. 100%. Speaking of teams in the SEC that are pretty good, let's talk about the Aggies.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else. Okay.
Oh, no. Let's talk about their Aggies and Marcel Reed. Now, some context. Notre Dame beat A&M 41-40. Or sorry, A&M beat Notre Dame. I said it backwards.
41-40.
A&M beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame 41-40. You would have thought coming into this season, if I told you that Notre Dame was 0-2, you would have been like, man, I guess CJ Carr didn't hit. I mean, we know that defense is going to be good, but you can't win without a quarterback. CJ Carr is good. They scored 40 points at home. That should be enough to win. Where did Notre Dame's defense go? I have no idea.
He's coaching the Cincinnati Bengals defense right now.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But I mean, Marcus Freeman had a good defense at Cincinnati, so it's not like he can't coach, right? Like,
yeah. It's I don't know if Al Golden must have made just a huge difference in their scheme or play calling or something, because they're lacking. They're just, it's not the same defense.
It's also fair. They lost some guys in the secondary, and maybe those replacements aren't quite as good. Like,
yeah. This is interesting because I was thinking about this. Notre Dame, they lost because they couldn't make an extra point. And who knows if they'd have won the game? Maybe, maybe not. But
Yeah.
they couldn't make an extra point. They lost on the road to a Miami team, which I quite frankly is looking better and better, like one of the best teams in the country every week. I mean, maybe at the end of the year, this Notre Dame team is going to be 10-2, and we're going to look back and go, oh, those 2 losses aren't so bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know. But the problem is that Notre Dame's not having the opportunity to prove against any other quality opponents except USC that they can beat a good team.
Yeah.
They got one more game on their schedule that I think is a quality opponent.
Now, how some of these conferences are shaping up might end up helping Notre Dame.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it's not looking like there's going to be, 3 elite teams in the SEC and, 3 elite teams from the Big Ten. There might be 3 in the Big Ten.
No, the Big Ten is going to get 4 teams. I can tell you right now.
That would be my guess. I want to mention just like the weirdest stat line I've seen in like, a long time. Marcel Reed for A&M was 17 for 37. And you're like, wow, that's terrible. For 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he rushed for 37 yards on 7 attempts. So you complete half of your passes, less than half of your attempts, 45%. But you're averaging 10 yards of completion, 10 yards an attempt.
Yeah.
I guess it works. Combine that with a really good run game. Like, sure, why not? He was not extremely great in the pocket, just going through his progressions. But he's really good off the play action, and he's dangerous with his legs, and he baits people with his legs. And off the read option and the RPO, he hits those long completions. And that's you can miss those slants and you can miss the outs, but if you hit the 10-yard completions off the RPO, that's good enough. And A&M has the running backs to really scare people with Le'Veon Moss and Reuben Owens. Like, that's a backfield that scares you, man. Like,
yeah, and
an O-line. Their O-line bullied Notre Dame.
And they
Notre
are
Dame
in a
got
position,
zero pressure.
No, they didn't. And now Texas A&M, you look at the remaining their schedule, it's breaking the right way for them. I mean, LSU doesn't look nearly as formidable. Texas doesn't look nearly as formidable. They don't play Georgia. They don't play Alabama. They don't play Oklahoma. Florida isn't going to be all of a sudden their schedule's like, this is workable.
So they may not be Texas 8-4 for much longer.
No, they may not be. So if I'm an Aggie fan, I'm getting excited about this season, about what could be. There's opportunity. I'm not ready to retire Marcel's Reed jerseys yet. I'd like to see a little bit more, but he's had a good few weeks.
Yeah, and it's like, is he the NFL quarterback? No. Is he a traditional pocket passer? No. But can he run that offense, and can he be a good college quarterback? Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. You go win at Notre Dame. What he did, the biggest key thing that he did, which a lot of college quarterbacks struggle with, is just not making the dumb play, right? He didn't make every great play, but there were a lot of times where it's like, and he threw it away instead of throwing into double coverage, or he took off and ran for 4 yards instead of trying to squeeze in his slant, right? So he only had 1 interception, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That you can live with that, right? So I'll take it. I think Notre Dame, I keep saying Notre Dame, Texas A&M in the SEC, look out, man. They've got an O-line that can mess with anybody. And their defense played really well as well, although I give Notre Dame's offense a lot of credit. If you score 40 points at home, you should win. Like, there's not this is not on the offense for Notre Dame.
No.
You can blame the Tyler Buckner, the holder, which is such a funny thing to say. Tyler Buckner. That Tyler Buckner.
Mm-hmm.
But it's less on him and more on Notre Dame's defense for giving up 41 points.
Yeah. So now, if you're Notre Dame, this becomes their schedule is again a lot of easy games there. You circle your calendars for October 18th, USC, and I expect USC to be much higher ranked at that time. That's the game. That's the game you have to win.
Yeah.
It's at home. That's the last real big team you play, and if you don't win that, 9-3 is not going to get it done.
Nope.
With that schedule because there's no quality wins at that point.
No.
So, and I think Notre Dame can get it right. I think that'll be a fun game. But this is it. I mean, and I think they've played well enough. They could easily be 2-0, and I understand they are the biggest travesty. Though is they are ranked in the AP top 25. I'm sorry, I don't care if we think you are. If you have no victories, you shouldn't be ranked in the top 25.
I agree. I don't think they should be ranked either. But I have less of a problem with them being ranked than I have with a lot of these other orders of some of these other people that are ranked, right? Like I have a bigger problem with LSU being at 1 or 3 than I do at Notre Dame at 24.
Maybe so. Yeah, I probably do. You're probably correct.
So I agree, but not the end of the world in my opinion.
So let's talk about another SEC matchup. Let's go down to Williams-Brice Stadium where
the prophecy, the vision from the future. As a child, Diego Pavia envisioned himself winning the SEC, and he predicted it to start the season. Oh boy, man, the doors are rising.
What a beat, and they just beat them down. Now I know Lenore Sellers went out. I don't think they're winning this game with Lenore Sellers. It would have been closer.
Lenore Sellers does not play defense.
No, and South Carolina had no answer for Vanderbilt on this game. This is exciting if you're Vanderbilt. You've got a team that's physical. You're beating people up at the line of scrimmage. You got your next 2 games are pretty easy. Georgia State and Utah State.
Don't lose them. They lost to Georgia State last year.
I know, but wasn't Diego hurt that game?
Yeah,
I think he was. But you're going to be 5-0, and then you're going to go to Bama.
Going to Alabama, man.
And I don't care if Bama's got another loss. That's going to be a huge game. And then they got murderers row of Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn. So they're going to get their shots at this. I mean, they want to make a run, they can make a run.
Look, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
You're just saying, yes. So.
I'm telling you, look, that would be the perfect capstone to an incredible, crazy season of college football if Vanderbilt were somehow relevant in the playoff conversation.
Listen, I just want to be relevant because I love watching the guy strut on the SEC Shorts video every week. I just like it makes me laugh. So
yeah, that's the best reason actually.
Exactly.
And I know it's a complete upend of the traditional order of things. And man, somebody's gonna hire Clark Lee, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody's gonna hire him.
I think so. And that's another one where if you're Florida, if you're Wisconsin's not opening up. I don't think they can. I think they're stuck.
Can they not afford him? Okay.
I don't think they can. I think he's there for another year.
Okay.
We don't know other big jobs are going to open up, but Florida, we know we feel pretty confident. Before the season, we thought, oh, maybe Oklahoma will open up, maybe Auburn. I don't think either one of those appears to be opening up.
Well, hold the phone on Auburn. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, but we're
still a complete question mark in the passing game at this point.
But if you're Florida, Clark Lee wouldn't be a bad hire if you're Florida either. I think that guy's got the ability to build a program and do it the right way. Good coach. So,
yep.
Before we leave the SEC, can we talk about the other troubled quarterback for a minute?
Yeah. What's the famous? What was the famous thing in the NFL where the guy? Austin Simmons might be getting Drew Bledsoe.
No,
is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about down in Austin, Texas.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Ole Miss, Arkansas.
No.
Yeah, Arch Manning. You want to take this?
I don't even know what to say.
What do you say?
He doesn't look good. He doesn't. He's not accurate. He's not accurate right now. I mean, this is you and I may have disagreed with this. This is worse than DJ Lagway. He sat in this system for 2 years under the quarterback whisperer. I mean,
I think he's just as bad as DJ Lagway.
no, DJ. Okay, you're going to compare Sark to Billy Napier?
Yeah. Well,
No, come on. Sark's a good coach. Secondly, Manning has had 2 years to sit and learn. DJ hasn't. Thirdly, Manning has played some games last year. What is going on?
I don't know.
This is. I mean, we know. Okay, we didn't know there was a question here whether he was just going to be great or good. He's not even good right now.
I would like to go back to like the beginning of last year when I remember I said something. I was like, what if the reason Quinn Ewers is still quarterback is because Arch Manning isn't any good? And I was kind of just like an idea that I threw out there. Like, would it be hilarious? Like, and I remember this very distinctly because I remember getting into a rather yelling argument with my brother Luke about this. Like, what if Arch isn't any good? He's like, what do you mean he's not good? He's a high, I obviously I thought he was going to be good. We all thought he was going to be good. He looked good last year.
He did when he's in the spots. Yeah,
he's not a good quarterback right now, and I don't know if he will be.
Maybe he is injured. We don't know, but it's just this isn't getting right. And I'm telling you what, this is an all-time.
He didn't look injured. He just looked like Tate Martell.
Yes, he looked. And this Texas defense is good. They're going to waste this defense.
That's UTSA.
Yeah,
like that's excusable against Ohio State. Like,
yeah, Ohio State. Yeah, maybe they're going to get this ship righted. I don't know. I'm starting to get concerned.
He didn't look injured. He looked like Trace McSorley.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Trace had a better career than Tate Martell. Come on. All right.
Yeah, I know. I'm trolling. I'm doing a little trolling.
You're definitely trolling at this point. Let's go. I don't know about Ole Miss thing and Austin Simmons. I think,
Did
Austin
you see Trinidad Chambliss just absolutely obliterate Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm not willing to go Drew Bledsoe on that one yet. So,
do you think Austin Simmons gets his job back?
I think so, probably.
Yeah, it'll be something to watch. Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's shift gears to the Big Ten for a minute. Couple things that were interesting. I thought Oregon, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on all these games.
Not a lot of great Big Ten games this week.
No. I thought Oregon kind of sleepwalked through Northwestern. I thought it was an early, they're playing the noon game. They're coming from the West Coast. I thought they just kind of looked, kind of like a team that's coming in. They didn't really seem like they weren't putting a full effort in. I mean, they blew the cover there at the end. That really annoys me to no end. I think they were just kind of getting ready, looking ahead. They're fine. Nebraska, again, playing Houston Christian, not a tough team. But what I find interesting in Nebraska is they are beating people into the ground. Like they are just demolishing people. When you're supposed to beat a bad team, beat them hard. And I like what Nebraska is doing there. Beat Houston Christian 59-7. USC Purdue was a weird game. I tried to get my eyes on this one, but they were delayed by like 2 hours.
A lot of delays this week.
A lot of delays due to weather. USC won 33-17. Defensively, they played pretty well. It wasn't the offensive output they've had the last few weeks, but I kind of blame the weather on that. It kind of got a funky start, and these weather games, you never know what you're really getting. Penn State seems to be sleepwalking kind of their way through the JV schedule.
They won by 50.
I know. It's still a Nova. I mean, it's an FCS school. Come on.
They scored 50 points. They're sleepwalking. Should we talk about it? What happened on Friday night? New Mexico beat UCLA.
Well, yes, we need to talk about that. Yeah, let's get to that. Ultimately, that's our Big Ten. Yeah, New Mexico beat UCLA.
And
Deshaun
New Mexico, man, they're looking. Are they a decent Group of 5 team? Like they're 2-1. They beat UNLV the other week. Like
I think they are decent.
Or no,
and Deshaun Foster ended up losing his job on Sunday. 0-3. That team's dreadful. Nico's been a disaster. That whole athletic administration and the football program is a disaster. That's a tough job.
Everything there is a disaster. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch that job with a 10-foot pole.
I think if you could find someone like a Dan Lanning type, a young guy that can come in and energize recruiting, I think there's a possibility.
I think you need somebody to come in and yell at everybody and get them all in order, get them all, like Lafayette to come in, teach them all how to march, teach them how to pitch a tent. They need Marquis Lafayette to come in and teach them how to actually run a program, how to actually fight a war. Like, they don't look like they know how to play football. Like,
no,
I don't know.
No, it's a
bad program.
Bad program.
Rip Nico. He'll be in the portal here soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wonder if he hits the portal this week.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because you can do that when the coach gets fired. You can hit the portal.
Is he Malachi Nelson 2.0? People are asking.
Yes. Oh, I didn't look at the chat tonight. I didn't see. Is there anybody in the chat tonight?
No, I got nobody in the chat tonight. But
where are you people? Where are our fans tonight? Y'all should be here. It's a Monday night. What are you watching? The NFL? Come on.
Probably.
Yeah. We got to talk with the other coach that got fired. Virginia Tech got curb stomped by Old Dominion. I mean, Old Dominion.
That's horrible. What have they lost to Old Dominion 2 out of the last 3 times now?
I think so. Yes.
Dude, you can't be doing that, man. Like,
no.
You're Virginia Tech. You can't be losing to Old Dominion like that.
No. Old Dominion killed them. That was it. I was texting some people Saturday night about the game, and both people were like, "Oh, he's got to be gone." And they're both Virginia Tech grads, and they were like, "Yep, sure enough, he was gone as of Sunday." That's an interesting job, I think, because they have the historical. I think they've got a good fan base that cares about football, and they've got a little tradition, at least in the last 30 years. They're not like a traditional from the last 50 or 60 years. They're not like Nebraska or that. But the problem is, and I don't think a lot of Virginia Tech fans want to admit this, they've got a budget problem. And Whit Babcock, the AD, talked about this to the Board of Visitors there. You may not have seen this, Jake. I don't know did you see this when it hit Twitter a few weeks ago?
I did not. I'm not dialed into the Board of Visitors of Virginia Tech.
Okay. So Whit Babcock, the AD there, made a presentation about 3 weeks ago. And a couple of college football writers picked up on this. He showed what Virginia Tech needed to be competitive. And, they're 11th, I think it was 11th out of the public schools in the ACC in funding.
Yikes.
That didn't even count the private schools like Miami and like Syracuse and like the other private schools.
I think Duke's probably spending more than them.
Duke's spending more money. So Virginia Tech has a real problem right now with the administration and their level of funding. And I think you're picking up on this. And I heard somebody today say that was one of the reasons why when Pride took the job before, they didn't have a lot of candidates that wanted this job before. And that was before all these problems. So it's going to be interesting. I think look for the name Bob Chesney. I think don't be surprised the JMU coach. That's one name I think you might find. There are going to be some other candidates. Chadwell was a candidate the first time, but Jamie has struggled in the last year or so at Liberty. I think that shine is worn off.
That's a little mini story that's been going on. Liberty lost to Bowling Green.
Yeah, they shouldn't be losing Bowling Green.
What's going on with Liberty? They should be rolling through people, and they've lost 2? They're 2-1 or 1-2 now. Like, I don't know what's going on in the CUSA, but
I don't know what's happening there. But it'll be interesting.
Liberty, I think I don't know what's happening at Liberty. Something's going on there. It's not working out too hot for them.
Well, going back to the Tech job, I think you hear their message boards things to think they're going to get Dan Mullen or something like that. That's not going to happen. I think there's a lot of coaches that are not going to want to be in this job right now, and because you're going to need to get guarantees that the administration is going to spend, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
I think the only way you get a big guy is if he pulls like a Saban. If he walks in and is like, all right, everybody's listening to me. I'm getting everything. We're all aligned. Screw the other. They need to go the full Clemson mode. When Clemson, in like 2013 or whatever, Clemson decided, screw every other sport. We're spending 98% of our money on football.
But the thing is, they don't have the money. But they don't have the money, Jake. That's the problem. Clemson had the money. Tech doesn't.
But you can optimize, and they have, I think they have some donors. Like, they're not,
They don't have. That's the problem. I mean, Babcock was trying to raise like student fees and other stuff. I mean, they are not financially far enough along. Duke is a further along.
There are
That's
things you can do, though. There are things you can do. You got
I'm
to.
telling you, they're in a little bit of crisis mode financially. Not they're not debt mode like UCLA, but they're not at a place where, I mean, they just can't turn the spigots on like
Yeah,
some
you
of
got to
these.
make the spigots, though. Like,
I'm just telling you, the reports are that this place, it was kind of a difficult job, and that was what that ESPN article a few years ago pointed out. Now they've got financial kind of issues. I just don't know. It may take a coach coming in who's willing, like a Bob Chesney, who's willing to kind of work at it and be the right hire to get this thing going.
maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Around the ACC real quick, Cal looks pretty good with that freshman quarterback. He looks really good. Duke went down and laid an egg down at Tulane. Tulane looks like
I'm done betting on. I'm frick that, bro. I can't. Why do I keep betting on Duke? I don't know, man.
Virginia put up most yards ever in their program history against William and Mary, set a record.
Congrats.
Yeah. Listen, they found an offense. Now let's see, and they've got an easy schedule. They're gonna make a bowl this year. You watch. And
hey, good for them, man. Good for them.
They're gonna sign Tony Elliott to like an 8-year extension and be mired in mediocrity forever. But let's finish up real quick with the with the ACC.
Miami beat South Florida, obliterated.
Miami destroyed South Florida. Okay, this was the media darling in the last week. They hammered them. They absolutely annihilated them. This Miami team is good.
Is Miami back, folks?
Oh, I hate we say that. I hate that.
I know you would hate it.
They are good on both sides of the line.
I'm going to say something. Miami has the best offensive and defensive line in the country.
Yes, I think. And you know what? You got a competent veteran quarterback who knows how to play. The receivers are young, but they don't
just have the best. Now, offensive line, I feel like you can make some arguments for some other teams. I think that they have the best lines of scrimmage in the country, without a doubt. And that's on Mario. He's built them like that. They've got a good quarterback. They've got good receivers. They're running the ball.
And they hit on every transfer. Every transfer on
their secondary is good. Like,
yes.
They are a national title contender. Like, they are built at the lines of scrimmage like Georgia, like Bama, like Ohio State. And not just like them, better than those teams in some ways.
Yeah, I don't think we all quite realized how good this team was going to gel. Everything's working well at this point. The U is back. The U is back. Now, the teams we haven't talked about really for the last 3 weeks on this show is we haven't talked much about Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. We're now getting
because they haven't played anybody.
They haven't played anybody. We will talk about those three because I still think those three may be 3 of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
I think the Big Ten is once again going to be the best conference again at the top wise. I think you got title contenders there. And I think the race for number 4 in that conference and the other playoff spot is going to be Indiana, Illinois, USC, and Nebraska. I think you got a great race for number 4 in that conference.
Fun fact, North Texas blew out Washington State 59-10. You know, USF might have some competition in the American.
Ooh.
North Texas, man, the Mean Green, 59-10. So people are shooing in USF as the automatic into the playoff yet.
No, Tulane. Tulane's your automatic.
Right, but they're all 3 in the same conference. They got to play each other.
We're going to have to watch that conference. So.
Yeah, the USF, Tulane, and North Texas. The American race is heating up, man. They're last year the Mountain West was probably the best G5 league. It's the American this year.
Yeah.
They got some good teams.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that'll about do it tonight, I guess. Anything else?
Friday night games had some interesting stuff. I'd say Houston, I think, has arrived. They're okay. And they beat Colorado pretty handily. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about Colorado. The Martin Luther Staub I had a dream. The dream ended. He woke up.
He woke up. Yeah.
So what did you miss? The whole show, Reed. That's what you missed. We're pretty much done here.
We're done. But thanks for
But,
joining us, Reed.
Arizona, sneakily, Arizona, not actually that bad of a team.
Not bad this year.
Not bad. They may be, maybe they won't be looking for a new coach at the end of the season. Brent Brennan can coach ball. Who knew? K-State, awful still. Colorado going to be bad. That's kind of where we're at. NC State beat Wake Forest. What else did we have around the world? I'd say
that's about it. We covered a lot.
Yeah.
Reed, go back, listen to the full hour.
Hey, we did talk some American, Reed. We didn't talk any MAC, but we did talk some American for about
MAC is
5
bad
minutes.
this year. The MAC's
really bad. Like MAC's historically bad. If you look at some of the power ratings, there is a bigger gap between the MAC and the rest of the Power 5 or the rest of the conferences, not even the rest of the Power 5, than there ever has been at this point in the season.
Yeah. That'll correct itself a little bit, but
yes. Atlee High School graduate Camden Bird had a sack against UNC on the Richmond Spiders. Shout out to Camden Bird. Congrats, bro. I saw you play basketball.
oh goodness.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tune in on all the shows live. Not sure if we're doing Wednesday or Thursday, what the schedule's going to be there yet. We'll work that out. I'll put it out in socials when that happens. Thanks for tuning in, and good night, America.
All right.